We're working on it here, guys. We'll be live to this screen in just a sec. There. First run at this, I'm sharing all of this, so. And we are going live. Give me, as soon as this loads. All right, here we go. Introduction to EXP Realty. My name is, for those of you that don't know, and I'll give a brief introduction, my name is David Fry. I've been in the real estate industry since actually about 1991. Started in the mortgage industry, transferred over to real estate sales in 1994 with my wife, Monica, and started a husband and wife team in the early days of when all of that seemed to start to come to play in our marketplace. We were at a local company to the Minnesota market, Edina Realty. They're a great company. They had great, solid market share, done well. Actually, eventually now are part of Home Services. And we were there probably no more than 6 months. And we had somebody present us with the RE/MAX model. When RE/MAX was just coming to town in the Twin Cities, I'm in Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And RE/MAX was just coming to town. Looked at the model, looked at the 100%, and from a numbers perspective, I went, holy cow, this is way different than the commission splits that I've been on. And I've always looked at this industry as it's my business, and the company to the client really doesn't matter. It's more about, as I've always looked at it, the company, what is it? Is it the best place, I believe, for me to run my business, both financially and from a tools perspective? Certainly, RE/MAX, which was a great model, it worked well for us. And we were the first agents at the office of Woodbury, Minnesota. For those of you familiar with the area, we ended up, we were presented the RE/MAX model, and by these franchise owners, we said, awesome, we're in, but we don't want to be in your marketplace. We want to be where we lived at the time, which was in Woodbury. And so we sought out who had the franchise rights and said, when you coming? And they said, how about now? And we went. And we ultimately did what almost all agents do. We helped him grow that office. We always want to be in business with people that we like and respect. We're fun that way, right? So I know 10 of the first 12 agents in that office. We were very instrumental, if not fully instrumental, in helping get over, and ultimately grew that into a very significant office. Fast forward to 2001, and we were trying to get a couple of agents over from Coldwell Banker, and one of them had been down to the National Association of Realtors conference and had seen Keller Williams and sat down on a notebook. He asked me what I knew about him. I said, nothing. I'd never heard of him. And laid down on a yellow notebook paper how they were structured. Now somebody's onto something here. Remember the same reaction I had when I looked at RE/MAX. And again, I wasn't looking. And ultimately, with a little bit of due diligence, this would have been early fall of 2001. Ultimately, we launched the first market center in the state of Minnesota in February of 2002. And obviously, so that was back when Keller Williams was just starting its growth. So we've been through all of that. And love the company, love Keller Williams, loved a lot about it. I was a team leader for a couple of years, and honestly was not looking to move anywhere. And I stumbled across, I'd gone to a training out in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And there were a couple of people that were EXP agents that I had never heard of. I thought they were a small boutique company, but I didn't know a lot of these people in the room prior to this. So I just started making small talk and asking questions. And the more questions I asked, the more I went, wait a minute, tell me more about that. Their stock, how does that work? Tell me more about that. Tell me more. And ultimately, I came back from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I told my wife, Monica, I said, I think we might be switching companies. And of course, I got a very emphatic no. And I will tell you, the icing on the cake for me, the validation that I got is a gentleman by the name of Jim Fredericks, who I had gotten to know back when I was team leader. He's also a Keller Williams franchise owner and a regional owner. He sold out everything and moved over. And I called him up and I said, okay, tell me why. And he validated everything that I saw and made the move. So And I made that move, looked at it probably, well, by the time it was done, when we joined, it was 3,200 agents nationwide. We are currently in all 50 states. So we'll see the slides here. So I'm going to go through here in the next few minutes why we made the move. So what we're going to cover: who we are, business model, EXP world, the solutions, and ultimately what it takes to join the company. So who we are. Our founder and CEO is a gentleman by the name of Glenn Sanford. I come from the real estate industry. He was actually at my former company. He joined real estate in 2002, grew a team to ultimately about 60 million in GC or gross sales, and then also ended up in he calls himself a techie nerdy dude, and I met him. That would be a reasonably good description of him. And here's what came out of all this. He was ultimately in the tech department a little bit with KW, and going through that downturn that we all went through, and saw the effects of the expenses and the business model, and what a negative impact it had going through a downturn. And was looking for, says there's got to be a better way, a more efficient way to deliver these brokerage services. And ultimately, that's what launched EXP in 2009. So a little bit of our timeline. We were, again, founded in 2009. 2013 became publicly traded. That's going to be significant as I go through here. 2015, they launched the Agent Equity Program and Icon Agent Award Program. 2018, we are on the NASDAQ. So obviously significant at that point. Glassdoor has had several recognitions of us. We'll cover that in a bit too. We are in Canada. Currently Canada, Australia, and UK, a whole bunch more coming. So here's our growth. I told you I joined in March of 2017. We were at 3,200 agents. We're over 28,000 currently. And I could tell you every day, the more I dive into this company, the more I learn, the more I understand how we're set up and why it's working so well. Just the fact that we are not a franchise system has helped us explode the growth that we have. There aren't the limitations that are inherent to a franchise system, and we'll cover some of that here in a bit. Core values: community, fun, agile, definitely the way we're built for sure. Innovation, again, tech company. Integrity, and I will tell you that I've experienced that firsthand all the way up to the leadership. A very impressive company from all of that. Transparency, because we are publicly traded, because you as an agent, if you just sell one piece of real estate, you're going to end up with stock in this company. There's no reason not to be transparent. Collaboration, this one I can tell you, and I'll cover this later, but my collaboration is now across the country in the ways that it used to be just in my office. It's changed a lot of how I do business. Our business model. I'm going to go back to my statement earlier. I told you I was a team leader of the Keller Williams office market center that I was in 04 and 05. At that time, that market center by itself was around $65,000 to $70,000 a month to run that one market center. So consider, I don't care what company you're at, with the brick and mortar, with the staffing requirements, all of that, the expenses are significant. And then consider how many of those offices are throughout your city. Then there's ultimately regional part of that pie too. There's a lot of hands in the dollars, in essence, that you and I as agents are creating on a daily basis. So some of the best examples we have is, consider this. Blockbuster. Wasn't all that long ago that if you were going to rent a movie, wanted to watch a movie, you were going to Blockbuster. They had ultimately gobbled up all their competition, and they were everywhere. Didn't have to go far to find one. Netflix comes into the marketplace and starts off with this whole subscription thing that you can get them delivered to your mailbox, blah, 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 for those that remember when that came in. And ultimately went to that live streaming, and they actually went to Blockbuster and offered themselves up for, the story is somewhere between 6 and 7 million. Blockbuster turns them down. And in short order, arguably 5 years, Netflix has Blockbuster out of business. A shift in technology, a shift in the marketplace, a shift in how things are delivered to the client, right? Amazon, same thing. Look what that's done to our retail shopping experience. And I was resistant to Amazon to begin with. Netflix even begin with streaming. What's that? And now, it says Circuit City here on your screen if you're looking at it. To me, it's Sears. I grew up with that company locally. Craftsman tools and all of that, and gone. So it's inevitable. It's evolution. Things change. And yeah, I'm going to argue that while we may not necessarily put everybody out of business, we are disrupting the real estate brokerage model. And here's something I would love you to just keep in the back of your mind if you're going through what I'm presenting to you today. Remember that the reality is on a day-to-day basis, it's the real estate agent and our efforts out there trying to find new clients. We drive this business. So one of the major intents of this company is to make certain that we get to participate in the company that we are building rather than building it for someone else. So just start to try that on, and we'll go as we go through here. So cloud campus environments, there are no desk fees. You can work from anywhere, collect overhead brick and mortar costs. We've talked a little bit about that. No expensive leases. Means the company can invest in agent support and technology. And I can tell you that was, I tell everybody, I came to this company for the opportunity between the stock and the revenue share, which I'll talk about both. I said, this is unbelievable. There's nobody that's offering anything like this to us as agents. It really gives us a chance to create something more than just a transactional business. So it's that support and technology really has been a big surprise to me. Training, holy smokes. If you want training, there's more than 50 hours of it live every week, from sales and listings, lead generation, social media, CRM technology, and it's from our industry experts and top producers. It's current, it's relevant, it's live. You can ask questions, you get your questions answered immediately. It's such a great way. You don't have to, travel wherever. You don't have to pay for the speaker that's there. This is all part of our monthly $85. That's what it costs to be at EXP on a monthly basis. And we'll cover costs later. And plus there's a huge archive of recorded sessions as well. So I will tell you this, if training is something you're after, you hit the jackpot here. Real-time support, here's the other one. And I'll cover a little bit more about how our cloud works later, or what it looks like. Just know that since the way we are structured, live support, extended business hours, Monday through Friday, any question you have, literally walk into our corporate campus, which is on your computer. So it doesn't matter what company you're with. Consider Remax is Denver, KW is Austin, Texas, Home Services is Omaha. If you could walk into that corporate campus, walk into the department that you need help with, and talk to the person that works at the corporate level in that department live, real time, and get your answers to your questions immediately and any follow-up ones. So for me, what this means is that, ultimately what happened would be I'd either leave a voicemail or send an email at some point. Let's just assume I got a responsive broker or a department and I get an answer back later that day. That always brings a follow-up question. And suddenly I've got 2 days or 3 days into getting my questions answered, where I literally get that question answered in 5 minutes. There's nothing like it until you've experienced it. I didn't get it until I got over here. It's changed the way I do business. I can promise you that. Collaboration, I'm going to talk about that in a later screen. I talked about our international growth. We are in all 50 states, obviously, as well as UK and Australia, Canada as well. So I said I came for the opportunity. Here's number one, equity opportunity stock. Stock awards. There are 4 different ways that you get awarded stock. When I mean awarded, that means free. It means you paid nothing for it. So when we get asked that question a lot, well, what's the return on it? Well, let's see, I paid 0 for it and it's now worth whatever. Today it was right around $8. I wonder, there's your return. So here's how you get it. Every year on your first transaction, this is on your anniversary year, through your first transaction, company's going to give you $200 worth of stock. when you cap, we are a capping system. I'll cover that later, how the money works. Just know that in our marketplace, that's between 8 and 10 transactions. So when you cap, they're going to give you $400 in stock. Next way is whenever you share this company with another agent, just like I did with Remax. By the way, what did I get from my broker? I got nothing. I think, Brent Goves talks about the fact that there's a couple of times he got a $50 gift certificate. Well, good for him. I got nothing. So whenever you bring an agent to the company or share this when they do their first transaction, the company is going to give you $400 in stock. So again, awarded. The next one, the Icon Agent Award Program, was one that really hit me. So if you happen to be an agent in our marketplace, that would be roughly 30 transactions. What it is 20 transactions beyond you when you cap. The company is going to give you guaranteed $12,000 in stock. The other $4,000 will come when you go to our convention and shareholder summit. So you get our cap is $16,000. I'll put it out there. So you do that level of business, you will get your cap back in stock. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you're an agent, this company works extremely well for basically all levels of production. If you're an agent listening to this that does roughly 30 transactions in a year, give or take, oh my goodness, when it comes to a financial perspective, there's no way that any other company out there can touch how we go about it here. So, and then there's the agent equity program. I call it stock option program. What it is that you can take 5% of every one of your commission checks and purchase stock at a 10% discount. That is done monthly, last trading day of the month. That is an opt-in or opt-out, your choice. Don't know why you wouldn't take it, especially as good as we all know that most real estate agents are at saving money, which is not good. We have an agent advisory council, which reports to the board, or actually the board reports to them, so to speak. So this has been a great voice for the agent. Revenue share. This is the second reason I came to this company. I came from Keller Williams, and Keller Williams, I don't mean to pick on them. They're my example. They did a lot of great things coming into the marketplace. Their profit share model, when I joined there, I did not put any weight on it. However, once I started receiving money in my bank account every month that didn't have to do with me actually selling a piece of real estate or not, that mailbox money thing started to get my attention. So when I looked at the revenue share plan, I immediately knew that it was something, it had taken the profit share model and exponentially advanced it, for lack of a better way to put it. So here's how it works. EXP Realty agents receive revenue share from the sales activity of the productive agents they sponsor into the company. So we all have a vested interest in helping each other sell real estate, right? There's plenty to go around, everybody. We all know that. Agents earn based on adjusted gross income, and I'll touch on that in the next screen. This can get a little confusing without the visual, at least me. So here's how it works. Agent you sponsor. Agent comes over, says, I'm here because I knew Dave. That's tier one, first level, call it what you want. You're going to get 3.5% of their gross commissions, which if they're a capping agent, $2,800 a year. So that is every year. Tier two, so somebody that they sponsor, 3.8% or $3,200. And then it goes and so on. It goes down through 7 levels. If you want to take full advantage of this, you do need to, there's some qualifiers that you see on the right-hand side there. Here's what I don't want to get too heavy into this. Nobody ever gets the whole picture the first time, just don't. But if you've got further questions, feel free to reach out to me and we can go farther into this. This is life-changing kind of numbers if you start to play it out, and I can cover that with you. But, here's the best way I describe it, especially, right now, as I'm recording this, we are in the middle of the coronavirus thing. So our business looks different. And we, so far it's been good, to be honest with you, but it's most likely going to change. What would it be like if there was enough money coming in right now on a residual basis, whether you sold another house or not, that your bills were paid or your mortgage was paid, or, take your number. But what would even just $3,000 a month that automatically came in, what would that do for your life? So that's what this is about. And, again, going back to my old team leader days and Gene Fredericks, we had a great discussion about this, is that, so many agents are 60 to 90 days from not being able to pay their bills, which means that one incident, an accident, a life tragedy, whatever, whatever it might be, and suddenly we're not able to go out there and produce that income. Well, what if it was still coming in? So we deserve the right to take advantage of that. Is my opinion. So that's the opportunity that I came for. We're going to talk about the world now. EXP world. You've heard some things about it. It's been I know it's been compared to a video game. I can promise you it's well beyond that. So we have. You get to what it is this, and I kind of explained it earlier. If you consider that on your desktop, you've got access to the corporate campus. We have over 600 employees working nationwide from their homes, working virtually. So again, consider the coronavirus thing and the quarantine thing. It literally has had no effect on how we do business because we've already been doing it this way. And you can access departments, sit in a training. You can reserve rooms if you're an expansion team or hopes for an expansion team. This is hands down the absolute best way to run an expansion team when you consider we're one umbrella, we're not a franchise. We have all of these tools to help you collaborate across the country. It is one cap only. You don't have to, again, there are different, and it's just a different system. It's nothing against the other companies. When you just start to figure out the limitations that a franchise has, this becomes even more empowering. Information sharing, etc. Daily trainings, it's all here. Go play soccer if you want. I know there's a lot of the stay-at-home kids. The parents are taking advantage of going out on the soccer field. You can go for a boat ride. We going back to the point, let's have some fun. We certainly do that as we're doing our business here. The solutions to EXP. This was another thing, not a franchise. We have the power of 28,000 agents for leverage. In this statistic, 28 to 33% of realtors are uninsured in any given year. We have an insurance plan. Insurance and medical cost sharing, telemedicine services, supplemental insurance. This is awesome, guys. The things, I tell you this, in short order, what other companies I know have tried to figure out, this has been my experience with EXP. They've made it happen. Talked about health insurance. They talked about we're going to come up with a solution, and they did it. So that's been probably one of my biggest experiences with this company, is that not only is it an idea, but they make it happen. They roll it out. They get it in the agent's hands. So EXP Enterprise, this is basically our back office. Anything and everything you need with EXP is here, from where is your business at, to how do I have, how much revenue share am I going to receive on the 22nd month, to all the tools from what now covers the tools. One login, it's all here. SkySlope is our transaction management software. This is a wonderful tool for those that aren't familiar with it. All the feedback is a very user-friendly system. Workplace by Facebook. I had said earlier that collaboration. Here's what Workplace is if you aren't familiar with it. It is the Facebook platform specifically for a company. So it's kind of like a company intranet, but with the workplace or with the Facebook platform. So I'm in Minnesota right now. So we have a state group. We have our national, there's just a water cooler chat room to just talk about real estate stuff. There's lead generation. There's from online to for sale by owners. You get lost here. But so here's what when I talk about collaboration, this is why I want everybody to get basic on this tool. I am currently collaborating, talking with agents across the country in the same manner and better than what I used to in my little office in Ennis Heights, Minnesota, where I was there. So I was concerned, and most are likely, it's like, wait a minute here, I'm going to miss my people. I like talking with my agents. This platform, I've got friends across the country that when we get to the conventions and so forth, we just get excited to go see each other, and we can collaborate and make things happen. And like I said, in ways that I just could not before. Very, very powerful tool. CRM and lead generation. So with your tech fee every month, you do get KV Core. If you're not familiar with it, a lot of other comparisons in the marketplace would be like Boomtown, Tiger Leads, Commissions Inc., Curator. This is, guys, to have this tool and not have to pay for it. There's a lot of the big teams. If you follow this at all, you know that there's a lot of big teams that have moved over to EXP. This is one of the reasons that they talk about when it got down to their bottom line. Most of those online lead generation platforms, they're spending $2,000 to $3,000 a month. They get that same platform for basically nothing. So that alone to their bottom line is hugely significant. And I will put this, and I've done Commissions Inc. and Curator, I will put this up against them all day long. So you do get this lead generation platform, you do get the website, you do get an IDX solution. There's all kinds of tools that go with this. I can promise you that if you want to create leads, and by the way, without having to spend extra money, oh my goodness, this tool is extremely powerful. Marketing, branding, all the things you could want to plug and play, we have it all here at no cost other than whatever you choose to do for printing. Preferred partners, we have a mortgage. Here's what I want you to get out of this screen. When you get stock, I talked about the stock. When you get stock, you actually get stock in EXP World Holdings. EXP World Holdings owns EXP Realty. EXP World Holdings also owns Verbella, which is a company that created our online platform, which has now the insurance industry, the financial services industry, there's some government stuff, are all looking at this platform because you don't need all the brick and mortar and you don't need to do all the travel that they're used to doing. So the uses for this platform are endless. So we bought the company. There is now a mortgage solution, a title solution. These are all EXP World Holdings, which when you get stock, you now have ownership in. Kind of an interesting concept. Rather than, and this is what I wanted, if you can think about this way, when I started at the beginning, I want you to consider how typically real estate is done. Us as the agents had all of these things from our company, but who did it benefit? It wasn't us. It was only the owners of the company. Well, now that you're an owner in the company, it also benefits you. This is such a wonderful concept, and I just think so appropriate when you consider how everything is built on the backs of the efforts that we do as agents. We've been all over the press. Those of you that follow Inman know that we've been in it a lot. Glassdoor has recognized us for 3 years in a row as the best choice. We get called the Amazon of real estate quite a bit. Disrupting the real estate broker status quo. Certainly that is absolutely happening. Why do you think there's a lot of conversation about us? It's working, and it's difficult for a traditional model to get ahead of what we have to offer, that's for sure. So how does the money work? Here it is. It's an 80-20 split, $16,000 cap. Once you've paid in $16,000 through your commission split, you go to 100%. There is no franchise fee, no marketing fee. We do not charge a broker admin commission. If you choose to charge that as an agent, it's yours. You get to keep it. So consider, I talked about a 30 transaction business. Consider what that alone adds to your bottom line. I looked at that in 30 transactions a year at roughly $500 in broker admin commission the broker used to get. I get it now. That's darn near my cap right there. I've just about zero based my real estate fees or cost of being at the company right there. So again, $16,000 cap, go to 100%. On an ongoing basis, you get $149 startup fee. That is one time. That is not annually. That is one time. $85 a month. That's it. That's what it's going to cost you to be at EXP. That's your tech fee. It pays for everything that we've got. And I will tell you for sure, best value running out there. Next two fees, $25 broker review. That's per file closed transaction. $25 pays for our state broker. Our E&O comes out on a per transaction basis. Rather than having to write that big check that I had to write every year in January, it's $40 per file, caps at $500. If you don't sell enough to cover that 500, you are not responsible for the difference. And that is annually. So another way to help manage our cash flow and so forth. That's it. That's the money. No other, there's nothing hidden here. There's no add-on for sign installs. It's all yours to choose. So pretty straightforward. So and by the way, here, company to comparison, if anybody wants to take a look at it and really look at their numbers, because here's what I find. Most agents, when you talk to them and say, okay, what did you pay your broker, or what fees did you have to go out last year? Most don't know that total number, and that's intentional. It's kind of like when we get our cell phone bill, or you try to figure out, well, what in the heck is going on here? It's all intentional. It's they don't want you to know. It's kind of like taxes. They don't want you to know everything that's coming out. So be more than happy to sit and break down your business, because one thing that I do some coaching, and one thing I want agents would be my goal, even if you don't make the move, to hear, which I don't know why you wouldn't from my perspective, but start to think about the fact that, if I paid my broker another $30,000, or I paid Zillow this, or whatever the fees that are going out might be, those are dollars that are out of your pocket. That's out of your monthly budget. So even if it's $12,000 a year difference, that's $1,000 a month. What would you do if you had an extra $1,000 in your family budget? You need to start thinking like that. So there's my short soapbox. So thank you for listening. Again, we're selling tons of real estate, just by the pure power that's come over and the training that we have, the efficiencies of doing business. It's really been fun to see the growth already, and even these numbers from 2018 to 2019. Number one in top movers transactions, number two in volume, number three closed transaction size. Consider that already. Number four, closed sales volume, Billionaires Club. We've got there's a lot of business being done here. So what does it take to join the company? Go to join.exprealty.com. Click on the link that says become an agent. Fill out the form. You'll be directed to our independent contractors agreement. Please read through it. You'll be requested to sign it. You are now in our system. You have not committed to moving your license. There will be nobody out there in the real estate world that will have to know about it unless you tell them. Your broker will not know. You are in complete control on when that license transfers. And we have great help. One of the big stumbling blocks too, here's what I tell a lot of people. I have so many people right now that are that want to come, and one of their bigger stumbling blocks is, oh, what's it going to take to move my business? And it's that unknown. We have the support. It's nowhere near as difficult as what most think. We have a whole onboarding team through EXP. I can tell you for sure myself, and by the way, whoever invited you to watch this, if somebody invited you to watch this, that should be the person you talk to. If you just happen to catch us, reach out to me and we can walk you through it. We've moved major, 200 and 300 and 400 transaction teams, and they've all come across and said, wow. But their biggest thing is getting their arms around all the tools that we have here at EXP. So again, thank you for listening. I hope you take a good, honest look at what this could do for your business, and ultimately what it could do for your financial outlook for the rest of your life. Have a great day.